Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Respect and Pray Show with your host, the one and only Miguel Mike Medina, Triple M. In this episode, man, we're talking about an artist that I feel that since 2021 to present, she's been on fire. And when I found out about her and following her work, I said to myself, I gotta work with her someday. But she's a singer and actress. Um, she had a lead role in a movie called The Farm, and she's also an upcoming filmmaker. So not only she acts, but she directs, writes, and even edit as well. She had a short film called You Can't Move, which was selected by the 2021 Los Angeles Horror Film Festival. And she even played Nina Rosario in The Heights in Panama. So this artist right here, she is nonstop working both in theater and now branching out in film. So I had to bring her on for the Respect and Pray show. Take a look at this interview. It's a good one. Get to know more about her and hope you enjoy this one. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to present to you Miss Panama, Anna Solis. Anna, thank you for joining me today. How are you?
Thank you for inviting me. Very, very nice to meet you.
All right, so I gotta start from the top. When did this passion for the arts all began?
Oh wow. Well, I always say that I can't really remember a time where I didn't know that I was gonna do this. Like when I was very little, um, I would go, to daycare and like kindergarten and all that stuff. We would always like put on a show, and I remember like my friends sometimes were like had stage fright or they were like crying because they didn't want to like go out. Like vividly remember this when I was like 5, and I didn't understand how anyone in the world would not want to perform. Like it's the most amazing thing in the world for me, and it's like I don't know. I always took it as a given that I love to do it, and yeah, like it's always been there. Then I moved to Panama when I was 5, almost 6, and then my mom, as soon as I got there, got me auditioning for musical theater, and so I've done it since I could remember, and yeah, that's where it started.
So you got your MFA in acting at the New School, which
Yes.
I know Kim Gomez and Ariel Diaz. I work with them. Describe your acting training at the New School.
Well, it was unusual to say the least because we were in the pandemic. And literally it's 3 years of training and half of those were through Zoom. So but I think in a weird way, it was like perfectly, like it was exactly what it had to be for me. Because the first year we got all the training, all the groundwork, all the technique. We got all the voice classes, the movement classes, Alexander, Linklater, all these stuff. A lot of scene study. We didn't put up like a big show. It was very much like nitty gritty, and getting to know our body and everything. And then when the pandemic hit, it was gonna be our second year, which is where we get to do the main stage productions and all that stuff. And we were locked in our apartments, which made at least all of us, but it made me discover this love for filmmaking. And I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't forced by the pandemic and through Zoom school. So yeah, we were doing this class called Acting for Camera, but because and for these classes, um there's also another Acting for Camera class that we have to collaborate with the writers and the directors of the cohort. And what is usually done is like the actors act, the directors direct, the writers write. But because all of us, we were alone in our rooms, we had to direct, write, produce, act, everything. And I realized how much I loved it. And I was like, I would have never done it if I wasn't forced to do it. Wouldn't have realized how much I love writing, and directing. And yeah, it just opened a whole other possibility of stuff. and then we finished our last year at school doing our main stage, doing our showcase. So for me, it was like perfect, but as they say, everything happens for a reason, all that stuff. I really do believe that's what happened in my program.
How was the writing process like for your short film, You Can Move?
Yes. So I was at the time I was doing my first horror feature film in Panama, and it was the first like I was up in the mountains in Panama, and it was amazing because it was in the middle of the pandemic as well, and I was just very that was the moment that I fell in love with the genre, and I really love how psychological thrillers mix with this horror genre, like how, I don't know, I really like the psychological aspect of it. And I think this movie had a lot of stuff that inspired me. And actually, there was this PA that was telling me about her um, sleep paralysis stuff. And I don't know, at the time, mixed with the movie, mixed with what she was telling me, mixed with I think the short in itself, what I want to say is like you need to deal with the things that cause you anxiety and deal with your trauma kind of deal. So I was going through that as well. So I just merged all of these things. And I mean, again, I had to do it for school. I had to come up with a script for school. So if it wasn't for school, I wouldn't have been like forced to do this or like pressured to do this. I wouldn't have believed that I could do it, I think. So at that moment, I was like, I need a script. This person is giving me an idea. I'm being like bombarded all these horror like tropes and being in this horror film, and I got very inspired, and it just like got born out of that, and I never thought that it was gonna get as far as it did. I really just did it because I thought it was gonna be really fun, and I liked the story. Yeah.
Nice. So how do you prepare for a new role or character?
I think it really depends, especially like the ones that I've written, they're so close to me, and sometimes it's just like an extension of me that I'm like I feel like they're in me, and I feel like in the writing process is where I find a character inside, and then it's all about like finding the physicality of it, or really just being present to whoever we end up like hiring as an actor, as a director, like all that stuff, just being present to what they want, because I feel like I already know the core of the character, and then just like going and being present with what everybody else is giving me. But I know what's the message, I know what's the truth of the whole story. But when it's like totally different, something I haven't written, it is a musical like Next to Normal. I definitely like to work outside in at the beginning, because I think I can get very heady and very like in my head. So I just want to get that out, find new physicalities, know like I feel like I have a good instinct for the character emotionally, but then I'm like, what is it? What is her physicality, and what's that gonna give me emotionally? Like I'm so much interested in doing that work, especially for theater. But I think they're all different. They all like they have their little up like you can feel the character, and you're like you want me to go through here, you want me to go through like you can just sense it a little bit, I think.
So you play Nino Rosario in The Heights at the National Theater in Panama. How was that experience like?
It was a dream come true, literally, since I could remember. I mean, ever since I wanted to do musical theater, and I learned about this show in the Heights, it's all I wanted to do. I went to undergrad in Virginia. So that was like when I moved here completely, and I was like, I really want to pursue theater and all that stuff. And honestly, it was very, especially being in Virginia, which is a little bit in the South Side, I didn't find a place as a Latina in the musical theater world, even though I loved it. And even though I grew up with it in Panama, I was like, there's not a place for me here in the States. I really believe that. And even though that's not true, and it's changing and it's amazing, um, I found this little musical called In the Heights, and I was like, oh my God, it's speaking Spanish, it's salsa, it's bachata, it's merengue. And then you have this character called Nina Rosario that's literally leaving her home to pursue her like dreams and knows what's the responsibility of community and like wants to do good for her community and like path like literally I just felt like I can relate to that character so much. I feel like so much of us do, like especially, immigrants or sons of immigrants and all that stuff. But yeah, so I fell in love with it. And this was like maybe 2014. So it was, yeah, it was, or maybe a little bit earlier, but it was almost 10 years streaming it. And it finally happened. And it was amazing. And the family that I feel like every time I hear someone talk about In the Heights, they talk about their cast, like their family, because they become family. And it was beautiful.
Top 3 travel destinations.
Oof. Boquete in Panama, amazing. I really want to go to Greece. And why not? The Caribbean, Puerto Rico. Let's do it.
Nice, nice. Favorite holiday.
Oh my God. It's between New Year's and Halloween, I think.
Favorite late night snack.
It's weird if I say ice. I like munching on ice.
All right.
Sorry for you.
Actor or actress you would like to collaborate with?
Oof. I mean, Victoria Pedretti or Greta Gerwig, of course.
Last but not least, theater or film?
It's too
Either
hard.
fit.
If I had to pick one right now, maybe film, but it's like a new love. So I'm a little bit obsessed with it right now. But I love theater. Theater is always there.
All right, not bad. So what's next for Anna?
Well, right now I'm doing a lot of producing. I am working at this documentary called De la Calle, which like it's great. It's a great documentary about the like making of reggaeton and the music of the street, and it's awesome. But I'm just doing like a little bit of. I've been working in the post-production side of that, and I will be filming another horror film at the end of the year with Alberto Serra, which was the director of my first movie. I'm really, really excited about this one. It has a lot of mental health awareness topics. And yeah, I don't want to give anything away, but I read the script and I was crying and bawling. Like, I think it's really profound. And I love when horror movies do that. So I'm really, really excited.
Where can we follow you and your work?
Yes. So you can follow me on Instagram. It's my name, Ana Gretel Solis or Ana Gretel Solis. And also my website, which I really need to update. It's anagretelsolis.com or anagretelsolis.com. But yeah, I try to keep everything up to date on Instagram. Well, this Sunday, I don't know if I don't know when this is coming out, but Sunday, September 3rd, I will be singing at City Winery, if you guys want to catch that, with Natalie Wise in a showcase. So yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and trying to make it in a big city, which is really, really exciting and scary and all the things. But yeah.
Anna, I've been following your work, and thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview with me. I salute you. I respect to everything that you're doing. I would like to collaborate with you at some point because, Your talent, your work ethic is just phenomenal. So I'm watching, and I always tell people that never stop doing what they're doing because you don't know who's watching. So I'm letting you know that you're one of the people I've been watching. So keep doing, keep writing, directing like you're doing. I'm a fan of actors who convert from acting to directing, writing. I love it. So keep that up. And I'm looking forward to these upcoming projects that you're working on. But Anna, keep going, keep going. All right,
Thank you.
you're making all of us proud, especially Panama. So keep it up.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. I've also been following your work, and I've been waiting for the moment where the paths align and we get to work together. That would be great.
Well, I hope you guys enjoy that interview. I certainly enjoyed it. Now, hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You guys know my message. Have mutual respect, mutual love, and mutual admiration. So stay tuned for the next episode of the Respect and Praise Show.